For the Lewis Extension site visit, we were told to meet at the Spire on O'Connell Street. We were told we were going to need steel-toed boots. When we got there, we noticed there was large amounts of construction going on along the entire street. One of the first things we noticed was the large amount of safety equipment. There were multiple barriers sectoring off the public from the site. There were also large amounts of signs signalling that there was construction work going on and that it was not open to public access. When we all had arrived, we waited around to be meted by one of the CISC site managers. We were split up into groups and each group was taken by a manager down different streets. Our group was taken up O'Connell Street Upper and onto Parnell Street. At the top of O'Connell Street, at the Parnell Monument, we stopped. The site manager gave us a rundown of what was going on and when it's expected to be finished. Some of the key statistics he told us were: the extension commenced in June 2013 and is scheduled to be in operation by the end of 2017. He also told us there will be an additional 10 million passenger journeys per year on this newly extended Luas network. He explained that the cost of this project would be around 360 plus million, and it is one of the largest capital investments projects currently being undertaken by the government. As we walked up and down the streets, he explained that there will be 13 new stops, in which 8 of these will be in the core city centre area. At one point of the site, we saw multiple workers using welders to weld the rails together. Behind them were other workers with grinders grinding down the leftover from the welding so that the track would be as smooth as possible for the Luas. The site manager explained that each one of these rail segments weighs thousands of pounds. We also saw that all of the concrete being done was cast in situ. This means that it was poured on site. We could see the formwork that was placed in position, and we could also see along the ground were large amounts of steel reinforcement that would be placed into the formwork and then poured concrete on top to give the concrete more strength. As we passed some of the older buildings, the site manager explained that the county council had ordered them to reuse the cobble that had been dug up in order to dig the holes. This was to do with the heritage. We circled back around and ended up right outside Bolton Street, which is where we left off.
So the second site we visited was the Coast in Baldoyle on the 11th of November, and it was MDY doing the construction. So we first arrived, and you can see all the signage here with all the information, like 205 residential houses and the builders MDY, and loads of safety signage as well. There's a big long drive into the site, so you got a good view of the whole project, and you can see the 3 types of cranes there. The tower crane on the right, and there's a self-erector as well, you can barely see it in the middle, and a vehicle mounted on the left. Here's a picture of the concrete storage tanks. They're pretty close to the entrance, so that's easy to reach for deliveries, and they're also beside the offices and stuff. That's where we're heading out. So when we arrived, you had to sign this visitor induction form, which includes points to note, site hazards and all that. So then we put on our hard hats and our high-vis jackets, and we went off to one of the main show apartments on the top floor of the first building. So this is the first main apartment. I think it was on the show apartments. Here's a picture of the rails on the floor for the stud dividing walls that'll be going in soon. They were saying this structure had already been there for 8 or 10 years, and the previous developers were going for all precast construction, and MDY considered knocking the building, but due to cost they kept it. And on the ceiling there they put fireproof timber studs between the top of the studs and the other side of the slabs. This is really interesting because they'd built, designed, and they'd signed off on a balcony design, which ended up being unsafe and they had to redesign it. They were mentioning how the brickwork could be considered a step and the rail was flat so someone could step up and sit in it. Then we went on to some of the houses. One of these houses I think was finished and ready to go. Here's a better picture of the self-erector crane and the communal area which all the gardens of the houses face onto. So here's some pictures of the bathrooms and the kitchens and stuff in the houses. We also saw these open web joists. They're pretty easy to recognise. They're really good for running services through because you don't have to drill through them. And that was our visit to Baldoyle.